Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Kat's Tiny Kitchen. Today we're going to do another recipe with that London broil deli roast that Kendall provided to us, and I'm just going to share it with you today. Today we're going to do some beef stew, and we're going to cook the meat in the Instapot first, and then we're going to do all kinds of neat stuff to it. But I want to get it started for you now. And I've got right here just a little under a pound of cubed meat. And we're going to add 1 cup of light beer. Now you don't have to add this. You can actually use 2 cups of stock if you want to. And then I've got a cup of beef broth, actually beef broth because I didn't have any stock. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, pepper, garlic. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to stir it up a little bit, get it going. I'll cook it for 20 minutes in the Instapot, and then we'll come back with the rest of the recipe. See you in a minute. So the meat is done. I cooked it for about 20 minutes and it is perfect actually right now. This was previously cooked, so it doesn't take as long as if you were doing it raw. So we're on the next step, which is to add our vegetables. And I've got about 2 stalks of celery, 3 small potatoes, 2 small carrots, and a small onion that I'm going to add in here. And we're going to stir it up. There's going to be some liquid coming off of this, so not too worried that there's not a lot of liquid in here, but we're going to get that down in there. And then I'm going to pressure cook this again for another, probably I'm going to do it for 3 minutes because I'm going to do some more cooking after I get this part done. So we're going to pressure cook it for 3 minutes. And we'll be back for the next step. We are back and all the vegetables are perfectly cooked right now. Let me see if I can focus you in. There we go. So you have it shut off, but I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on saute. So we're going to go ahead and hit saute. Got it set for 20 minutes. And once it gets started boiling again, I've got a slurry here that I'm going to show you. It is 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, a tablespoon of paprika, and we have like a 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle seasoning in here. And once this gets boiling, I'm going to go ahead and start dumping this in. But before we do that, I have a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes that I'm going to dump in there. That I drain. They're drained. They're not. No more juice. So let's get this stirred in. There we go. And it's getting ready to start boiling, so. And then once I add my slurry, I'm going to let it cook for about 10 or 15 minutes because I want all of that cornstarch and stuff to cook into it. I would normally do flour, but because the meat wasn't raw, I didn't dredge it, so we're going to go ahead and use the slurry, and that way we don't have to worry about lumps. And as you can see, it's starting to boil. So I want it to boil a little bit more. The potatoes are a little bit cooked, but that's okay. That's the one thing about Instapot that I don't like is everything else, all the vegetables are good, but the potatoes get a little bit too much. So We're just going to let it come to a boil. And now I'm going to start adding my slurry, because this is my thickener for my stew. And then I'll taste this after I get this all mixed together. Get it in there. After it gets cooked a little bit, I'll taste it, see what kind of salt and pepper it needs. But that's pretty much it. Get rid of my get rid of that, and I'll use my spoon. I don't want to keep get my whisk in there. So that's pretty much it, folks. I'm gonna let this cook for about 10 or 15 minutes, and all we got left to do is plate it up, eat it, and take a picture. So I thank you so much for coming along again tonight, and I hope this is something you can do. You have a blessed evening. Good night.